Vikings game plan continues. It's the Vikings off a victory against the Carolina Panthers versus the 1-10 Jacksonville Jaguars Sunday, US Bank Stadium. Pete Bercich, Ron Johnson, Paul Allen. Pete, what is there to fear with Jacksonville?
Well, I think we talked about James Robinson. I think he's a very, very good, dynamic, strong runner. He's the kind of guy, he's not going to break necessarily and have that elite speed. He's very, very good in between the tackles, and he knows how to move the chains. And I think that's the one thing that concerns me, is that they can have these prolonged drives. And, Mike Glennon knows how to manage a football game. The thing is, you got to stay on the field and wear these guys down. The Jacksonville Jaguar defense gave up 144 yards on the ground to Nick Chubb, which should make every Viking smile because Dalvin Cook, right? But those yards came late. They don't have a ton of depth on defense, especially at the defensive line. That means longer possessions. You got to win the time of possession. You got to be able to move the chains, no 3 and outs, wear down this Jacksonville defense, and we'll be just fine.
The thing to fear is a team like this, because a wounded cat will do anything to stay alive. And so if you think about that, that means they don't care. Look, we've lost 10 games at this point in a row. So who cares? Go out there and just go after the quarterback. Let's put 8 guys in the box. Let's get creative. Let's get sexy with this defense. So that's the one thing to fear, is you might see some things that you haven't seen all season on film, because they have nothing to lose at this point.
Now, teams at this stage of the equation better fear Kirk Cousins. He's been fantastic with the passing game pretty much since the Vikings came out of the bye. So, Pete, what are some keys to keeping number 8 hot?
Well, I think the one main thing is to keep the pressure off of them. If you saw one thing against the Carolina Panthers, they had some success with rushing up the middle. They call it gut pressure. It's where the defense, the blitz, everything's coming right up the middle, right in the face of the quarterback. Cousins did a couple of things I liked. A few times he pulled the ball down and just took off running. You saw some 2-man, nothing underneath, pull the ball down, and you go. And that quick decision-making is what I like about Kirk Cousins, his ability to scan. If it's not there, pull it down, make something happen, or get rid of it. And you watch this film, especially with what Cleveland did against Jacksonville, my God, the bootlegs and the play fakes and all those types of things worked very, very well against them.
You look at the first 5 games, his passer rating was 87. He was 26th in the NFL. Now his passer rating in the last 5 is 124. He is first. I don't care what you say. If you're first, you're not last. I think Ricky Bobby said something like that. So if you think about that, what Kirk Cousins has done also, the offense, sacks, they've cut them down in half. They went from 13 to 7. Kirk Cousins is making strides. If he continues on this pace, he's definitely the player of the month in November. I mean, he's the best quarterback in November. He just now has to relax and sit back and say, I'm good. I'm Kirk Cousins.
Hey, Pete Bercich, to close winning formula, I'm Paul Allen. And the Vikings virtual Vikings game plan. You're going to love this. Jeff Gladney's 11 games into his career. Does he have the potential to be like Antoine Winfield on the inside of that nickel, because his tackling is so good?
Yeah, I mean, his tackling is good. I mean, Antoine Winfield, though, was remarkable. And he was not a very big guy, but he could hit and he could blitz. I think Gladney is getting there. And I love the confidence that Gladney is playing with. You're starting to see that show. We've been saying this now for 2 or 3 weeks, where he'll make a pass break up here, makes a play there, but he's on the field. He's staying healthy, and he's playing week in and week out. So he's getting better, and he's getting more confident. I'm waiting for that interception. That interception is right there. Once he gets one of those under his belt, I think the sky's the limit. I think just Gladney can be an outstanding corner. If he's going to be better than Antoine Winfield, it may be down the field, one-on-one. Antoine was always struggled a little bit with that. But overall, I think Gladney could be, maybe a better overall corner.
Ron, did Antoine ever shut you down?
Yeah, I was looking. I used to have a picture right here. I think my wife put it in the other room. But there's a picture of me at Ohio State. I'm probably about 2 feet in the air, and Antoine Winfield's under me. So it's a cool-looking picture.
Yeah.
But then when you actually see the video, I catch it, he hits me, I flew probably, I don't know how far, but I flew far enough to hit a metal bucket
Wow.
on the sideline at the Horseshoe. Low band wins, and I know Pete knows that. So when you look at Jeff Gladney, the way he puts his hat in there, the way he's willing to put a shoulder on a hip, and he's not whiffing, he's not, trying to air tackle guys. He's actually putting pad to pad and dropping his hat. I think Jeff Gladney is ahead of where McKenzie was as a rookie, and that's going to vote well for him in the next 3 or 4 years.
For Ron Johnson and Pete Bercich and everybody with the Vikings Entertainment Network, I'm Paul Allen. That is Virtual Vikings Game Plan.